A very good evening, everybody. This is Gulf Harbour Radio, ZMH 286, Patricia and David. And it is an interesting evening here. There's only about 5% cloud cover, but it's a bit gusty, although when I looked at the machine, it said 4 knots from the north-northeast, which means it's quite warm, 17 degrees, but it is a bit gusty. We happened to be in the city today because we had to take our car down for servicing and walked around the West Haven area, as you do, of course, looking at boats, and it was quite gusty and cool because of that fact, but it's 1028 with the anticyclone above us, so pretty reasonable, even though it's getting a little bit windy, but nowhere near as windy as it appears to be in other parts of the Southwest Pacific, looking above us. And Pajian reports, apart from the fact that I think he said 8 boats in North Minerva at the moment. It's been gusty 25 knots, which is what the GFS says all day, gusting 35 when the rain squalls went through. Sounds like the Southern Reef is pretty spectacular with the probably 3 to 4 metre seas crashing into it. But not too much cloud cover, 30%, but I can't imagine people are out looking for crayfish in 25 knots of southeasterly. 8 boats, but it looks like there will be 3 more tomorrow because Adventurer 2 is going to be in the morning. Adventurer 2 is a motor vessel. It's a cray boat, believe it or not, an ex-cray boat. It's currently at 25 degrees, 2527 south, 17930 west, directly below you guys. Doing 9.8 on a course of 357 at the moment, 1019. So it will be in there tomorrow morning and probably leaving Friday when things settle down a bit. So that's about all I've got to say, except we just didn't have we don't often leave home, but especially not to join the stop and go traffic in the morning. But it was a fun day in Auckland. We have a guy that we work with down there who's got a real sense of humour, and knowing that we are petrol heads, he gave us an all-electric new SUV Audi A4 to play with whilst we were waiting for our car to be serviced. And I'd have to say, although we were pretty negative about electric cars, it had amazing response if you put your foot down on it. Not that you can do that much with Auckland traffic, but we did take it on the motorway to see what it would do. The only trouble is it's not much fun because you can't hear what's going on. It is so damn quiet. It's amazing. So anyway, we had a pretty good day. David didn't even mind being dragged off to the art museum because they had a display of paintings, impressionistic paintings from the Toledo Museum of Art, which is quite a big one in the US, and he found one that had a really good sort of edition of the Shinnecock Inlet where he used to sail as a little boy. So, well, it wasn't sailing at that stage, was it? You had a engine on your little fishing boat. So that was our day today. It was quite fun, and a walk along the Harbour by West Haven, looking at what we would buy if we had a couple of million to spend. So not too sure if there's anybody out there at this stage. We've got Andiamo waiting for decent weather to leave New Zealand, but apart from that, everyone is where they're going. So is there anybody wanting to give us a weather report or comment? Please call now. Soy Libre, Andy, it sounds like a pretty stormy day up there, over.
Yeah, it's exactly as the GM said, about 25 knots out of the east. So from about 21, 22 degrees Celsius. North about 1022. And it's been a little breezy, over.
Yep, I'm sure people will be interested to hear what David is going to say for the outlook. Looks pretty snotty again tomorrow. But anyway, thank you for that. I will pass the microphone to see when people might get moving. Here's David.
Hello there, Andy, and hello to all of the rest of our listeners. A pretty interesting day here at Gulf Harbour. Yeah, driving an all-electric car. That's something I thought I would never do. But anyway, our big fat high is slowly moving away from New Zealand. The center is located at about 40 south and 172 degrees west. So it's moved off, the center has moved off New Zealand. It's just east of the date line, I guess, to put it in perspective. Now, the BFH is very strong, very strong. 1037 millibar, 1037, which will provide for obviously enhanced trade winds en route to Fiji or Minerva or Tonga. Now, the frontal band that was over Fiji has moved off, but the strong wind warning is still in force, still in effect for all waters. So you could expect southeast winds 20 to 25 knots through tomorrow and Friday. There are, of course, rough seas with a moderate southerly swell on top. Now, the Tonga forecast still has gale warnings for the Hapais, Tongatapu, and the Minervas. But the actual wind forecast is for southeasterlies 15 to 25 with gusts up to 35 to 40 knots at times. And I'm looking at satellite imagery that was valid at about 4 p.m. And that shows the tail end of the frontal band, almost a brick line from Vavau down to Nuku'alofa and then east from there. A few minutes ago, the reported winds at the Fuamotu Airport in Tongatapu were easterlies, 10 knots gusting to 24 knots. And as I mentioned before, expect open water winds to be higher. That's the airport there, the Fuamotu Airport. So watch out for a depression developing by Friday morning, just to the west of Tongatapu. It gets pushed west toward Fiji by Sunday. Then it looks like it gets absorbed by the new high that has moved into the Tasman and will be ridging toward Fiji Tonga. So we'll see how this whole thing develops. So a few days to go, and the models are changing fairly rapidly. So that's about all I have. Anybody that's wanting to go to Fiji from the Minervas, it looks like there's a possibility on Friday. Winds seem to tail off a bit, so if you are anxious to do so, there's a chance. But we'll have to see what that funny little depression is going to do as well. So that's it from me, and with that, here is the Chief.
Yeah, it doesn't look very, I wonder how long it will take for those seas to settle down. Anyway, we will wait and see. This is Gulf Harbour Radio. Is there anybody wanting to expand on anything or make a comment? Please call. No, it's all peaceful. There's not much going on. Certainly in the Fijian waters at the moment. People are hunkered down, but you get that sort of thing. For once, it's actually nicer weather here, but a bit on the chilly side. Okay, folks, we will be back again tomorrow. Have a good evening and stay safe. This is Gulf Harbour Radio Clear.